Hi, my name's Paola G, and I am a very, very, very proud Latina singer. I'm half Mexican, half Brazilian. But I've always been raised in the United States. I was born here, and so it's always been a big part of my culture where it's like, a big thing for me is that I'm here in the United States, and I've always been in really whitewashed communities, and it's always been like, oh my god, my exotic Mexican friend, my exotic Latina friend. And I'm like, okay, Caroline, like, I get it. But then I go and I visit family in either Brazil or Mexico, and they're like, hola, americana, like, speak English to us. And I'm all like, okay, so it's kind of like, I have all these different identities, but I'm just like, I'm still just Paola, I have my own identity. I have this mixture of all these different cultures that are all enmeshed within each other. And so I'm just so proud to be able to be Latina and bring a part of that into the music industry, because I feel like, especially in the American music industry, there's a big rise of Latinos coming up in the music industry. Like for Bad Bunny to win Artist of the Year at the 2022 VMAs, like, that's crazy to me, and I just really hope that I can make as big of an impact, or even if just the only person I impact is myself. That's a big enough thing for me. So, a little bit of my story. A lot of people, I feel like, when they say that, they've had music in their life, like, all their life, or since they were young, and I definitely do agree with that I've always sang when I was younger. I was in band when I was in 4th grade to high school, but I feel like my musical career really only started about a year ago. So it was around November-ish, so almost exactly a year, that feel like I'm kind of going in through the ins and outs of everyday life. I'm waking up, going to work. I work in retail, so that's not all that fun. And I feel like I'm just doing the same thing every day. I have no drive, I have no passion, I have nothing that's exciting me. But if there is one thing that really excites me, it's gonna be a fine-ass man. So there's this Colombian artist that I really, really love. His name is Maluma. You're not familiar with him? Definitely. So yummy. And so he was coming to Phoenix. So I was like, okay, I got tickets. I told my sister, I was like, we're gonna go. We're gonna sit front row. I don't care how much we have to take out of the bank. We're gonna sit front row. That's where we need to be. And so I go, and I have the best time, and I'm so excited. And he has a backup singer. So the backup singer, he has a song with Shakira. Of course, Shakira wasn't up there, but he brings the backup singer up to the stage, and they sing a song together. And it's one where it's like, puro, puro chantaje, puro, puro chantaje. And I'm like living for it. I'm having so much fun. And as I'm listening, I'm like, I feel like I can do that. I'm like, I sound similar to her. I mean, like, I've always loved to sing, but I'm like, I feel like I could do that. And so I have a blast at the concert. I go home, and then the next day I gotta go to work, and I'm just feel very numb inside. Like, my heart just feels sad, and I'm like, I just had so much energy and so much excitement last night, and I'm here now, and I'm just back in reality, and I'm like, I just feel like I'm going back into the everyday thing that I'm doing. And I go into the bathroom where I usually try to hide from customers and my manager, and I squat in the stall, and I'm like, okay, I don't like feeling like this. I'm like, I feel like I'm finally fed up, and I felt like something spark in me, and I just look to God, and I'm like, if you're trying to give me a sign, if you're trying to tell me that I need music back in my life, I need you to tell me how, because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to start. And the first thing I instantly felt was, you already know what to do, you just need to network. You already are so good at talking to people, at meeting people, just going up and introducing yourself, just network. And so while I'm still hiding in the bathroom, I go on Instagram and I just start reaching out to everybody I could possibly know that would maybe have some inkling to help me get on this with this process. Like, okay, if I want to start getting into music, I want to start singing, I'm not the greatest singer, but I know I can practice and I can get there. And so through all these recommendations, through people talking to me, I did end up getting in touch with my vocal coach, Desiree White of Painted Soul. And when I tell you, she's been the biggest blessing to me. She believed in me when I did not believe in myself at all. And she's just been continually helping me through this process and be kind of a mentor for me in this area that, you know, I don't personally have anybody close around me to guide me with. So, you know, I start taking singing lessons with her, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just kind of like doing this, see where it goes, and slowly I start to just build my confidence. I become a lot more positive. I start putting little things here on social media, and then I am looking on social media, and somebody reaches out to me, a local rapper by the name of King Midas. He reaches out to me and goes, hey, he wanted me to be a model for like a music video, and I was like, okay, and the schedule didn't end up working out, and so I was like, oh dang, I don't think I can do it, but hey, I am trying to get into singing. If there's any time that you maybe need a backup vocalist, or, you know, even if I could just spend some time like learning something from you, I would really appreciate it. He goes, well, I'm working on something right now. Go ahead and send me a few videos of you singing, and let me just see what we can do. And 2 weeks after that, I was in a studio recording with him. So I was featured on a song called Sippin' with him. It was put on Spotify. And within like, not that's like, oh my god, crazy, but within a month we have like about a little under 1,000 streams. So I was very, very excited about it. It was really cool, and it was a really great first experience for me. And so then I'm like, okay, cool, like what's the next thing that I can do to learn? And then he reaches back out and says, hey, that song was actually kind of like the wrap up of like 6 songs that I have, and I want to do a show, and would you like to be a part of like one of my opening acts along some other artists? And I'm like, you mean perform in front of people? Because I was so scared, and I had such bad stage fright, and I was trying to get over it, and I was like, I go to Des, and I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? She's like, absolutely do it, we'll get you prepped. Like before I could even show any self-doubt, she's already like, all right, let's get a song list going, let's try and figure it out. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I did the show. I was so scared, shaking the entire time, but I was all like, you know what, I did it. I accomplished something, like now I just gotta get to the next one, And I'm just still trying to put myself in front of different projects, and again, another day I'm going through social media and I see that The Voice is hosting auditions. And I was like, hey Des, look at this, what do you think of it? She's like, absolutely, just do it, just go for it, even if nothing comes out of it, it's a great learning experience, you'll get to learn the audition process. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll just go for it. And so I do the first audition, I get a call back. I do the second audition, I get another call back. I go through 4 auditions, and it's right up until I'm sending a video into the executive producers of the show, and I didn't get on the show. So I was super duper upset, and I was like, dang it, like, I really thought like this was gonna prove to me that this is what I was meant to do, like this was gonna be that validation. I was like, okay, let me just try and go into the next project. I try to like dust myself off, like let me get back up and do it. So then I see on social media again, American Idol's having auditions. I'm like, okay, let me try it, let me see. And again, I do the first audition, I get a call back. I do the second one to send in a video, and I get a call back. And then I do the third one where I'm auditioning in front of the executive producers. And not only did they say no, but the email said, unfortunately, you did, exclamation point, bold, capital black letters, not make it. And I'm like, okay, let me just try and move on to the next one. But with all of that, I saw a TikTok video the other day, and it said, if you are in a scenario where, you know, you are trying to reach your goal, and someone said you have to get 50 no's before you get that yes, wouldn't you try to get those no's as fast as possible? Right. So with that, I'm like, with every no that I get, I will 100% bawl my eyes out every time, but I will wipe my tears, get back up, and then just try and go for that next no, so then that way I can just be ready for when my yes does come. So I do have some covers for you guys. I am, like Don said, I'm kind of still in the learning-ish process. Like I said, I've only kind of been in music with like a year-ish now, and so I have some covers. I do eventually want to try and work on writing music, but you know, I'm trying to take it one step at a time. I don't ever want to overwhelm myself and just not throw everything on me and try to make myself feel like I have to do this to be successful in this time frame, because I've got a whole lifetime, and we all got our whole lifetimes to be able to reach our goals. So I got some covers for you, and I hope you enjoy. Wait, can I ask one more thing?